Hey guys, Zen here, and today we're back talking about the biggest update ever made to Rainbow Six Siege, and so let's get into this. Now, one change that's caused a fair bit of controversy recently is an announcement that would effectively change every single map in Rainbow Six Siege. The devs want to go in and pre-reinforce every single rooftop hatch on each and every map, and they're looking for your raw and honest feedback about it. Do you think that every hatch on the roof should already be reinforced and force the attackers to use hard breaching utility to get it open? As of right now, the hatches outside on the map have always been soft. You can have a sledge, buck, or gridlock easily pop it open, and it's basically a guaranteed way to drop into the map and always has been. With this change, you'll need to consider one of the many hard breaching tools to get them open as an attacker, and as a defender, you'll need to start thinking a little more about using Kaid's Electroclaw as a way to seal them off. It's honestly a game-changing update that'll make a difference on every single round, and so the devs are sort of looking for the green light here. So I've thought long and hard about this because there is just so many elements of this to consider, and I'm gonna rant to let it all out. I say, make it happen. Now that there is a new secondary hard breaching gadget and also a brand new hard breacher with Ace, the attackers can almost guarantee to get not just one, but a few walls open leading into the objective. Of course, there is Bandit, Mute, and Kaid who can prevent some of this utility, but there's just so many ways to get a wall open now. Whether that's going vertical with IQ or simply bringing a Maverick, most times a wall is getting open, and a main reason for that is just the sheer amount of hard breaching utility that's in the game. If Thermite dies, well, there's still Hibana. If Hibana gets taken out, then you look to Ace, and if Ace is taken out, as of Shadow Legacy, you can rely on Capitao, Nok, or Ying to place a charge and blow open a hole big enough to enter the site. There is a mountain of hard breaching utility in Rainbow Six Siege right now, and by pre-reinforcing just the outside hatches, you're forcing the attackers to use at least some of it on those entry points. Now, if we don't go through with this, and all 5 attackers make it into the map and close to the site, that could potentially mean that every single wall that's been reinforced by the defenders is coming down, and as an anchor, I don't think there's anything more concerning. Now, they have made a slight adjustment to how reinforced hatches will be opened by giving them health points, 1 million to be exact. For example, an exothermic charge from Thermite does 1 million points of damage, and so the hatch will open. One Selma does 500k, and so you'll need 2 to open it, and the new hard breaching tool does 1 million damage as well, so just 1 will open the hatch. Additionally, Maverick is getting another gas canister to bring even more accessibility, and so there are some adjustments being made to help the attackers get in, and honestly guys, it makes a ton of sense to me. The one thing I would consider is to give Kaid a third Electroclaw so he can reliably secure some of those outside hatches, because on these maps, there's usually a few of them, and he's the only one to help with this, and so yeah, I think he should get more utility. But again, this comes down to your opinions really more than anything, and so let us know your thoughts. Now, we have spoken about it, but there's a new secondary gadget for the attackers, and it's the hard breaching tool. Thermite, Hibana, Maverick, and Ace are no longer the exclusive options to get a reinforced wall or hatch open. Now, any operator that has this secondary gadget will be able to open up a reinforced wall, and it works pretty simply. You just place the gadget on a wall, wait for all the fuses to go off, and it'll blow open a hole that you're able to crouch or vault through. Now, this isn't an Ace or Thermite sized opening. That is of course still the job of the primary hard breachers, but in this case, size matters. And so if you're roaming around with Nok and just need a small hole to help reach the objective, this is the tool to do just that. So like any other breach, it can be destroyed with Bandit batteries or Electroclaw, and of course it is very loud and obvious where it's going off, and so it's far from being a discreet gadget. The real value here is the fact that if say a Thermite or Hibana gets spawn peaked, that call out for the defenders is no longer gold, because Ying or Nok could still be out lurking throughout the map and make a hole in your reinforced wall. So as a defender, that level of security is just gone, and you never really know who's going to be the one to open up. Now, I have heard a lot of people asking if this now makes Thermite and the other breachers obsolete, because if you just completely leave them out of the squad, you can still get holes opened up on reinforced walls, and to some extent that is true, but it really just makes it so that now it isn't a must to bring one of them on your squad to get walls open. If the whole wall being open isn't the priority, then you could just focus on an operator with just one of these and get by. However, you should also consider that per operator they only get one, and so an operator like Thermite can open up 2 full walls, Hibana specializes in hatches, and so on. And so if you need more utility and don't want to bring a breacher, you'll need more operators with the gadget for a similar effect. Now, I really like the addition of this gadget because it's giving the attackers another tool to make defense feel uncomfortable, and it's a strategy that I think will pull away from that defender favored vibe that's been a constant point. Last season, the defenders got the proximity alarm, and it just hasn't caught on too much yet in the meta, but on the flip side, I think this will, because it's just so core to what Rainbow Six Siege is all about, and it'll open up opportunities for operators characters that weren't really being played all too much. Next up, we must pay respects to the Lord, because it would seem that the Tachanka rework has actually been delayed for Year 5 Season 3. Now, for those of you who don't know, back at the Invitational, it was announced that for Season 3 and Season 4 of Year 5, there would only be one brand new operator introduced, and we'd be seeing operator reworks instead over the traditional 2-operator launch. Tachanka's full rework was revealed, and for those that missed it, Tachanka's turret that's been his gadget will turn into his primary weapon, and his gadget, like what will replace the turret of today, will be a fire grenade launcher. It'll fire grenades that are able to bounce off of surfaces, and whenever they detonate, they'll leave a pool of napalm in their wake. He'll basically now focus around area denial, like Smoke and Goyo, and it's been one of the most anticipated upgrades for Rainbow Six Siege of all time. Well, we recently got the full reveal of Operation Shadow Legacy, of course Season 3 here, and the rework to Tachanka is nowhere to be seen. It was expected to launch this season, but unfortunately there's been no word on it, and also no update on its development, and so for all intents and purposes, it's been delayed. Now, without a doubt, Season 3 is one of the most content-packed seasons to ever be released, and there is so much new coming to both sides of the round, and so it isn't like we're out here thirsting for more content, but attack is the only side getting a new operator, and defense will remain largely the same. It could be that the devs are planning a one more thing announcement and just drop the rework as a surprise last minute, and I'll hold my breath in for it. But there's been nothing said, and it's easily been one of the biggest questions so far. Hopefully we do see it in Year 5, because that was the original plan, and the Lord deserves his big upgrade. Now, one of the most anticipated new features to Siege is Ping 2.0, and it's being added with Operation Shadow Legacy. So Ping 2.0 is essentially a more detailed and dynamic ping system for Rainbow Six Siege. Right now, you've got a yellow ping. You point at something, you want to show a teammate where to make a rotation, you ping it, and a yellow marker appears. The problem there is that if no words are exchanged, there is no additional context, or if someone didn't hear what was said, it could mean something totally different to that person, and so Ping 2.0 will help make things a little more clear. If you ping it, an icon will appear for what you're pinging, and they've also finally given this ability to the drones. So on defense, if you want your entire team to know where you placed a goo, throw it out and then ping it, and a ping with the full logo of the goo will pop up and let them know. As an attacker, if you're droning an Ashen for a rush and you spot a Gersmot, just ping it and she'll know exactly where it is and what it is without you saying a word. It really is both tactics and convenience, because you no longer need to send out cryptic callouts that aren't exact to get your point across, and you'll also make your team more aware of their surroundings. This is also a big help for the solo queue players out there that struggle with a mic. Look, some people are shy and just don't know what to say sometimes, and this system will benefit their team to make better plays and be more aware, which could lead to more rounds won. There are more ways to use this, like individually numbering the players in the round, so if you ping Rook and he's player 2, you'll see a player 2 ping, and so you'll know that it's Rook. And yeah, over time, it'll just offer more understanding and less confusion. Finally, there's been a lot of you guys wondering my thoughts on the new Chalet rework and whether it's worth it, and so let's talk about it. For me, this rework was all about flow. Chalet has always been a map that's just had a ton of cutoff points that either funnels you into imminent death or forces you to backtrack all the way around the map to get a different angle. I honestly believe it was a map that lacked flow, and so with the rework, I think they've given it just that. Trophy is no longer the tail of the map that's cut off from everything else. There's a new set of stairs that leads directly to the top floor, which helps both sides of the round. The basement now has walls on all 4 sides and a new hallway that connects blue to the rest of the objective, and is a great place for an anchor to hold an angle, and so it just seems less claustrophobic down there. And personally, I think the bar objective is now one of the best sites on the map. It's much larger now, and there's only one outside window on site, and so it's really just a nice place to anchor down and allow the roamers to surround it from above and below. I really did enjoy the time I spent on this rework, and it also looks much more aesthetically pleasing. I think the old Chalet got a little bland over time, but yeah, Oregon is still my favorite rework, but Chalet could take that spot after some well-spent time. They really made the whole map just flow so much better, and as a defender, you don't constantly feel like the walls are closing in on you, and on attack, you'll find so many more entry points and places to make your push, and so ultimately, they gave the map exactly what it needed and a nice visual upgrade. I will say that I do believe the map's meta will change, because I found the bottom floor to be less effective, and even the master bedroom could be considered viable because of a new staircase and connecting rooms that make all the difference. And so that's it, guys, and we'll do it for the video. If you guys do enjoy this content, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications to be early in the next one. It's been Zen. Hey, I'm out.